Resource Alliance celebrating the India NGO Awards 2013-2014 is sponsored by Rockefeller Foundation and Edelgift Foundation. The India NGO Awards were instituted in 2006 by the Resource Alliance to recognize and reward in the non-profit sector.
Welcome to the Indian NGO Awards. The NGOs in India do a tremendous amount of work, but they go unrecognized. These awards recognize the best in NGOs. And what is unique about these awards is it's the NGOs awarding NGOs, and the entire award is supported by NGOs. This makes it very unique. The aim of these awards is to identify the goodness in NGOs, the accountability, the best practices, the transparency, the rules and regulations that they follow, what the leadership of these organizations. And it is this that we capture and share with the rest of the NGO sector so that they can replicate it and improve themselves further. You know, these Indian NGO awards have matured over a period of time. The application process itself is so thorough, so comprehensive, that just filling in the NGO awards application itself enlightens an NGO as to what all is missing in their respective NGOs and which they need to overcome. This year, the Indian NGO Awards received nearly 400 applications, and there was a very stiff competition amongst NGOs, and it was a very big task for the assessors and the jury to identify as to who the winners are. Following is the finalists of this year's awards. Have a look at them.
The 12 NGOs were shortlisted across the country on the following criteria: impact of work, good practices in governance, transparency and accountability, resource mobilization and financial sustainability, financial management and other organizational systems. The 12 finalists category-wise are: in the small category, Shrishti.
I'm Sanghamitra Bose from the NGO Srishti. Srishti started in 2003 from my home with one child. And today it runs a number of learning centers across Delhi and NCR, bringing quality education to the children of migrant laborers' families. Srishti's aim has been to give quality education for early years and mainstream these children into the schooling system. Srishti has also worked on bridging the digital literacy gap between the rich and the poor, and it's also working on empowerment of women in the marginalized communities. I thank today the Rockefeller Foundation, the Edelgift Foundation and Resource Alliance for giving us this opportunity to meet you all and present our case. Thank you very much.
Kalp, Center for Unfolding Learning Potentials.
I am Dr. Om Prakash Kulhari from Kalp, Jaipur. Kalp is a Sanskrit word, means pious work performed by for transformation. Kalp has been working for education of children of out of schools. Kalp has been scaling up its program in 4 districts. It started from one district in Jaipur with its most innovative project called Pehchan for educating out of school adolescent girls, which we continued for last 1 decade, they imparted more than 30,000 girls and put them in formal school. 80% of them continued and completed their school education, and some of them are pursuing university level educations. This is the big impact and brought the social change in the society, and also articulated community and parents to make investment for the education of girl child.
Save Life Foundation.
Save Life Foundation is a non-profit, non-governmental organization focused on reducing road accident deaths in India. We were founded in 2008, and in the past 6 years, we have worked in both the areas of accident prevention as well as post-accident response. Our model is fairly simple. We are advocating for national level policy change. We work with the courts to bring about certain legal interventions, and we have on-ground interventions that build proof of concept on how lives can be saved on the roads through effective prevention techniques as well as post-accident response. We are a full voting member of the UN Global Alliance of NGOs for Road Safety, and were selected this year to become a member of the Clinton Global Initiative. Over the next few years, our objective is to become the leading organization advocating for change in the area of road safety and prevent the massive loss of life which is taking place in India, which has been almost 1 million deaths in the last decade and over 5.5 million injuries in the past decade. I'm extremely thankful to Rockefeller Foundation, Edelgive Foundation, and to Resource Alliance for this opportunity to be here today, and for the exposure that I've got here at this program, and for nominating us for this prestigious award. Thank you.
Dakshinya Institute for Mentally Handicapped.
Dr. T.V. Rao, founder and chairman of Sri Dakshinya Bhava Samiti, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, is behind this vision. A father of 2 children with mentally retarded, during the past 20 years made a tremendous work for the overall development of children with special needs and the empowerment of families. At present, we run 8 projects funded by Ministry of Social Justice, National Trust, Hands Foundation. We added inclusive education program to bring the children of dropouts to integrate along with children with special needs. Overall, we thank the organizing team for shortlisting us and bringing us to present ourselves for future collaboration and future networking. Thank you.
In the medium category, Rural Healthcare Foundation.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम अनंत निवेटिया, मैं रूरल हेल्थ केयर फाउंडेशन नाम की एक संस्था चलाता हूँ। ये वेस्ट बंगाल में चलती है। यहाँ हम लोग प्राइमरी हेल्थ केयर रूरल गाँव के आदमियों को देते हैं। Our organization is a sustainable model, and we provide health care to the rural poor at an affordable cost. Till now, we have served more than 10 lakh people, and by 7 centers. Our plan are to go to pan-India basis, and we want to open 100 centers all over India in the rural area. This award will justify that what we are on the right path and what we are doing is right for the society. Thank you.
Sense International India.
Namaskar. I am Akhil Paul. I work for Sense International India. We work with children who are deaf-blind, who have combination of deafness and blindness. As you know, when you mix 2 colors, yellow and blue, you get green color, a third color. That's how when 2 disabilities come together, it gives birth to a third disability. And that's how deaf-blindness is also a very unique disability. We have been working with deaf-blind children since 1997. At the moment, we work in 21 states with 48 partners and reaching out to about 57,000 deaf-blind children. We work very closely with Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan in terms of reaching out to children in mainstream schools and opening doors for deaf-blind children into mainstream schools. What we look at the future is mainly to work on vocational training and employment of these deaf-blind young adults. Over the years, we have created 3 major networks. One for teachers of deafblind, that how to teach deafblind children. Second, for the family members and parents, that how to live with deafblind people in the family. And third, to work directly with deafblind people, that how they can communicate with the society and how they can help society to communicate with them.
Meher Baba Charitable Trust.
Good evening. Meher Baba Charitable Trust is an NGO working for rural upliftment. It is based out of Basi Pathana and touches 2.5 lakh lives in 187 villages. We work for women empowerment, having trained 1,500 women in Fulkari, enabling them to start their own boutiques. We are into youth development, having trained 2,000 youngsters in basic computers and accountancy skills, helping them get jobs in the government sector as well as in private companies. The Trust runs a hockey nursery, which is a unique initiative for training youngsters for competitive sports. The Trust currently has 100 players, and the first batch of 22 have been selected by Sports Authority of India in Chandigarh, Patiala, Bathinda, and one of our players has just been selected at Bangalore. We also work for village health management and community development, where we are partnered by School of Public Health. We have weekly road shows and wherein we go into the village to screen people for various diseases, and free medicine is provided to them in a medical clinic organized in Basi Pathana by expert doctors from PGI.
Central Himalayan Environment Association.
Central Himalayan Environment Association initiated its activities in 1981 and it was registered in 1982 with a mandate to sustain the livelihoods in the Himalayas with focus on environmental development out there. And since last 30 years of services, she has made lot of efforts to improvise the livelihoods of the people, keeping in view the natural resources intact in the area. We have also tried to develop some models out there which has resulted in policy advocacy at national and the regional level out there, and it has also given immense pleasure to us that we have reduced the womanization out in the mountains since last 30 years. It is also very useful out here to express our gratitude to the different funders those have supported us, but we would also like to extend our thanks to different institutions those have given us the funds during last 30 years.
In the large category, Deepalya.
I'm TK Matthew, and I'm the founder, member and chief executive of Deepalya. Deepalya was founded in the year 2000, in the year 1997-98, and to be exact, it is 16th of July 1979. We started 5 children in education, and we have never seen look back, and we have been growing. And today we are the largest operating NGO of Delhi. We have invested 17,500 rupees to begin with, but today we have an asset of 16.6 crores. We have educated over 27,000 children. We have over 12,000 women in SHGs and microfinance. We have over 6 million people treated with healthcare. And like that, we have a large portfolio of activities which have implemented in the streets and slums of Delhi as well as in rural villages. And we have brought out adequate output, or rather we have impacted the lives of children, women, youth as well as villagers. And we legitimately feel very happy that we have been able to raise a large number of people who are below the poverty line, and children who could have otherwise become vagrants or lumpens. So we did a little reform work through which we are able to bring a new humanity. In fact, our vision mission is really looking forward to a new society which has got a very amicable living environment, whereby everybody feel happy and contented, at the same time mutually helpful. So that kind of an organization we have built up over the last 35 years, and this is an occasion where we came to attend the program to prove ourselves, and we are very happy that we have had that program, and I'm happy that this organization like Resource Alliance and then Edelgive Foundation and also Rockefeller Foundation is supporting this venture and encouraging NGOs. In fact, this kind of award programs will enable NGOs to professionalize themselves. In fact, the whole kind of inquiry is promoting and enabling them to become more professional and making their program more meaningful to the clients for whom they are working.
SOS Children's Villages of India.
I'm Rakesh Jinsi, Secretary General SOS Children's Villages of India. This is an organization which looks after children who are without parental care. We were established in the country in the year 1964, and this year we celebrate our 50th year. Our basic area of work is to look after children who have lost parental care, and we look after them till the time they achieve an age of 25 years. We have a very special model where children are put in homes of 10 children. They become brothers, sisters, and there is a lady who looks after them and becomes their mother. This family unit of 10 brothers, sisters and mother, they stay together till the time the child becomes 25 years old. We have, as I said, been in the country for close to 50 years. Currently, we have more than 6,600 children with us under this program. We also have another program where we work with families who are at risk of losing parental care. Under this program, we have close to 31,000 children with us. We also have 12 educational institutions, which is 8 schools, 4 are CBSE and 4 are primary schools. We have 2 teachers, we have teachers training college and we have a nurses training college, and we also have 2 vocational training institutes.
KC Mahindra Education Trust, Project Nanhi Kali.
Project Nanhi Kali is a learning outcome guaranteed education initiative for underprivileged girl children in India who are mostly first generation learners and are studying in government schools. Project Nanhi Kali is currently reaching out to 92,000 girl children across 9 states in India. The project has been able to curtail the dropout rates of girls in India, which is extremely high, which is as high as 50% by the time a girl finishes her secondary education. But in our project areas, we have been able to curtail it to less than 10%. In fact, even 10% is the girls who are moving out of the project area. Actually, moving out of the education system would be around 1.5%.
Lepra Society.
Good evening. My name is Ashim Chawla. I am the Chief Executive of Lepra Society. Lepra Society is a 25-year-old organization established in India and headquartered in Hyderabad. We work across 8 states in India, and our primary focus states are Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and Orissa. We even work in Delhi. In terms of programmatic domain areas, we are focused on leprosy, because leprosy happens to be one of the most neglected tropical diseases. In addition to leprosy, we are also involved with working in tuberculosis, lymphatic filariasis, HIV and AIDS, malaria, community health, and we organize people's collectives that then seek to put pressure on the government in order to get the system to work for them. Lepra employs 333 employees, out of whom about 35 are those who are affected by the very diseases that we work on, and some of them are persons affected by leprosy. I am one of them, so that's us.